A trainer, has incredible speed in his success in helping change people's situations around. And I said to him, well, what works? Why does it work? And one is a particular technique series that he uses, but the other is he has a motivated subject. The person wants to fix it, all right? So you've got to first get there, and then you got to find somebody with some good techniques to help you fix what needs to be fixed. So, but just understand that all of these things like alcohol, etc., which is the one that the prayer was about, is, and I'm not trying to pick on the person, we all have weak areas. It's a weakness. We talked about being weak-minded a couple of weeks ago. We talked about being, lacking heart. These are the things that can be strengthened, but it takes a consistent feeding of that to strengthen that. It's like, okay, I went to the gym once and now I expect to be strong. No, you have to go to the gym on a regular basis to consistently work your body to keep it in a good physical condition. But we don't work our mind and our character strong enough to help us have that internal, emotional, and psychological strength. Okay, so let me just throw that out there and say that is something that most of you lack. Now, some of you might be like, well, I don't know where to start. Well, you can call somebody like me who's probably heard and listened to and studied everybody that's out there, okay? And I can guide you to some of those programs. But they may cost you a little bit, okay? You may have to buy a book. That may cost you $10. You may have to buy a program that might be really good for your particular issue, okay? And the program might cost you even $200 or something like that. But is it worth it if it can help you overcome something that is challenging your life for years and years and years and years and years? All right? And you won't be buying them from me, so if I recommend it to you, it's because I know it's probably going to help you, okay? And I'm familiar with these programs. So just keep that in mind, that, weakness is fixed by exercising whatever is weak to strengthen it. Okay, so if it's the mind needs to be exercised. If it's the heart, it needs to be exercised. If it's the body, you know what I'm saying? You need to do something consistently to work that thing out, to give it a workout. They talk about having programs on the internet to help, as people get older, to keep their minds sharp, to help against Alzheimer's, to help against things like that, to do things that stimulate the mind cognitively, problem solving and thinking and those kind of things, because the mind must be exercised. Everything needs to be put through some sort of a regimen that keeps it sharp, all right, and strengthens it. So just, we talk about own it, fix it, right? Well, if you own it and you really want to fix it, then you're going to have to be willing to take some effort and spend some money and do the doing. I've offered people programs. I've offered people programs that cost $300, $250, and they said, nah, that's okay. And I offered to do them for free to borrow mine, and that just shows that they really weren't serious, okay? But I'd rather not lend you mine. I'd rather you have an investment in. I'll give you a sad testimony. I years ago, many, many years ago, how many of you guys remember back in the first days of infomercials? And Tony Robbins had the personal power 30-day program to owning to your own strength. It's having power within yourself to do whatever you need to do to overcome stuff. Okay, well, you know what? I listened to that program. I bought it when it first came out back in the early 80s. And in that program, it was either on tape number 1 or tape number 2, he said, congratulations, most people never get this far. He says they'll buy the program and never even start it. They'll stick it on a shelf. Okay, could you imagine? He said the research showed that over 67, whatever the number was, some ridiculously high percentage of people never even get to the second tape. Could you imagine? And this is people that have spent the money. And that program today is $260. I don't know what it was back when I got, probably half that price, but that was in the 80s. So in 80s dollars, it's probably about the same, okay? But are you willing to put that in to do what you need to do? It's like your spiritual life. You want to complain about it, but do you spend time with Yahweh? Do you study the Word? Do you get counsel from an anointed person? What are you doing? Because I've offered people programs and I've offered people, techniques and things to do for themselves, and I've guaranteed them that they will work, but there's a caveat, only if they do it. I gave somebody techniques one time, same techniques I give a lot of people to help them overcome challenges and habits and things like that. And the guy said to me, oh, I've done that before. And I said, what did that look like? Tell me what you did. Well, it turned out he did it for like 3 days or 2 days, and then it didn't work immediately, and he quit. I said, no, this is going to take months of consistent patterned behavior change. So no, you did not do this before. You're like the guy that got to the first tape and didn't get to the second tape, okay? Because a lot of you will say, I've tried that before, but did you really? What did you consider trying it? I did it once, and it's like a person said, well, I stopped eating junk food for 3 days and I didn't lose any weight. So I'm going back to eating cupcakes and pancakes and donuts and whatever. No, it's going to take a change of lifestyle, to change your physical, your mental, emotional, and spiritual life. You're going to have to change your lifestyle habits. Anyway, that was just a long-winded way of answering, because I feel bad and I have compassion for the person that is struggling, who contacted us and said, look, I can't seem to conquer this. And I'm telling you why, because there's a weakness inside that you need to strengthen. I'm not saying, oh, you're weak. I'm saying, no, you need to own the fact that there is a weakness that can be strengthened. You need to strengthen that part in you that is not able to say, no, I'm not going to run to the bottle. Okay? That's the problem. You have to strengthen that weakness. It's like I tell people to quit cigarettes. You don't need patches. You don't need vaping. You don't need all this other stuff. You just need to quit. If you want to know about that, go ask Rabbi Tom. That's what he did. Everybody I know, basically, whoever quit cigarettes, you know what they did? They just quit. They got to the point where they just were done. And they finally just said, no more. 6 years now? Fabulous. Because when Rabbi Tom first came here, he was still smoking. And 6 years, okay? And that's probably a big part of why he's actually still sitting here, okay? Had he not stopped, he may not still be sitting here, okay? But he found the strength inside to finally end. Because people say, well, I've tried to quit. I want to quote Yoda, there is no try, there's only do. There is no try, just do. That always hurts my throat. Anyway, okay? But trying is what causes us to fail, okay? I keep thinking I want to do another Yoda line, but it's going to hurt my throat. Okay.